Punk Revolution now! Today we are going to be reviewing Hayley Williams' debut solo project album, Petals for Armor. I got my freaking troll face shirt on, got my uniform on, ready to freaking blow and go. So, Hayley Williams, like I said, well, did I say this yet? She's the vocalist of Paramore. Paramore, you know, the fun, catchy, energetic alternative rock / pop punk band that's, you know, we all love so much. Pretty interesting stuff because Hayley Williams is really the main creative mastermind behind Paramore, and she's making an active decision here to release an album under her own name, even though she definitely has the you know, power to have released this album under the name Paramore. She made the active decision to release this album under her own name as a solo project, so that says to me we're gonna be listening and hearing some new ideas from Hayley Williams, maybe some experimentations in different genres that wouldn't fit under Paramore. Exciting stuff. I've actually been looking forward to this album because I think Hayley Williams is a good vocalist, and I just was curious to see what the hell she can do outside of the framework of Paramore. So let's start by taking a look at the freaking album cover. So this album cover is already quite different than anything you would expect from Paramore, because Paramore's album covers tend to be kind of like, you know, edgy, cool, pop punk, fun covers, and this album cover here, Hayley Williams here looks, you know, it looks like a typical pop album cover, you know, a photo of her with her name. It just looks kind of like, you know, maybe like an art pop album or something like that, or maybe a more mainstream pop album. I don't know. But anyways, interesting, a little bit more mature album cover. Interesting to see what is it gonna sound like. So you listen to it, and first thing I hear here, it's definitely, Hayley Williams is definitely exploring new kind of dimensions to pop that she doesn't really get to explore too much on Paramore, because Paramore, you know, it's a little bit more guitar driven, you know, has a little edge to it, a little more energy to it. Hayley Williams in this album, it's you know, she's kind of just experimenting with more kind of like gentle, pretty textures, some, you know, maybe like jazzy guitar chords, and maybe some kind of gentle electronic drum beats or something like that. A lot of this actually does remind me of Radiohead from about 10 years ago. Okay, I'm hearing elements of In Rainbows in there for sure. Certainly hearing, like I said, the like arpeggiated kind of jazzy guitar chords incorporated into alternative kind of like art rock sort of songs going on, and then I think there's like a little bit of like string sections in here to kind of something similar they would do in Rainbows, absolutely. And then, like I said, kind of like the electronic drum beats do feel a little bit like something out of, I occasionally like The King of Limbs here and there. So I'm definitely hearing a lot of Radiohead influence from the start to the finish of this album, which, you know, sounds really freaking cool in theory, because it's like, it's Hayley Williams playing around with more like art rock stuff. Very exciting. And there's all sorts of influences coming in here, too. There's definitely songs that are a little bit more like new wavy, poppy, you know, punchy fun. There's songs that are just more, you know, emotional, getting, you know, quieter just with the piano and only vocals, you know, kind of like a ballad. We're getting sad here. So I'm detecting this is a pretty darn ambitious album, almost an hour long, experimenting in genres that Hayley Williams has really not touched before. Pretty freaking exciting, cool stuff. But it has one really bad flaw that ruins the whole album, which is this album is just not good. It's just not good. It's really disappointing. The songwriting is just so, I'll put it this way, all the songs feel like they go on too long, even though the songs aren't that long, and it's not because she's dragging the song on too long or anything, it's because she literally doesn't have very many ideas to like fill these songs up with, okay? She comes up with a verse and a chorus, which both are pretty hard to differentiate because they're both pretty mediocre, and, you know, there's no like energy or fierceness and fire like there is in Paramore choruses or anything like that. They just kind of blend. And then of course you'll kind of like have these sections of the song that kind of break away from the traditional verses you hear in her music, but then you just kind of listen and it's just like, what's going on? There's like kind of just nothing going on. It just sounds like she just copy-pasted like some, you know, vocal sample from before, or some like, you know, kind of just dingy-dongy guitar part, and it's just like, okay, it literally feels so artificial. This whole album feels copy-paste in a way that's just like, it just lacks any dynamics. The songs never really do anything. It's like she wants to experiment, but she doesn't know how, and it hurts. because this album had a lot of potential. It sounds so cool in theory. It sounds cool. Hayley Williams doing Radiohead sounds so cool in theory. But if you don't have good melodies that are full of energy and power, you know, it's just gonna fall on your ass. And some songs are cool, like Dead Horse or Over Yet, which are a little bit more new wave inspired. But Paramore already gave us After Laughter, their most recent album, which kind of just does the whole new wave thing perfectly fine, and probably even better than the new wavy stuff we're hearing in Hayley Williams' solo project. So, kind of a shitty album. It's really hard for me to listen to from start to finish. It's so long, and it's just like I said, all the songs, it's like nothing's going on. So, I'm giving this a 4.63. And, you know, I still see potential in Hayley Williams to have a fruitful solo project. I think she just needs to just kind of figure out what worked in this album. You know, just, you know, still able to differentiate itself from Paramore, because I do like the poppier stuff in this album. Although some of it does sound like freaking, like, Kesha-esque, you know, hooks from, like, maybe some of Kesha's worst tracks, somehow trying to plop itself on top of, like, a Radiohead-esque pop song. I don't know. I don't know, folks. I hope there's potential for Hayley Williams to kind of figure out how to make this work, because she's a great vocalist, and it'd be cool for her to have an interesting, experimental, exciting solo project. So, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe and comment, and just do everything you need to do! Do everything you need to do! Because we need to have a punk revolution now, and the only way I don't have to review these stupid fucking pop albums anymore is if you fucking subscribe for the punk revolution! So that's all I gotta say, punk revolution now.